So Robb Stark did have a crown, and we learn about the description of this crown through Lady Catelyn's perspective. It's book 2, A Clash of Kings. It's right at the very beginning, and it begins with, her son's crown was fresh from the forge. So this is brand new. They've made a new crown. And it seemed to Catelyn Stark that the weight of it pressed heavy on Robb's head. For almost 300 years now, the Starks have been just lords of Winterfell, wardens of the North, no longer kings. And by declaring Robb Stark as king in the North, they are reclaiming the North. They want to make it independent once again. And so Robb's crown is intentionally designed to replicate the old crown worn by the Stark kings. The last Stark king was Torrhen Stark, the king who knelt, and we don't know what happened to the crown that he used to wear when he was king. Most likely it was handed over to Aegon the Conqueror when Torrhen bent the knee. It was probably just melted down and probably formed part of the Iron Throne. Now, Robb's crown is made when they are at Riverrun. It's his grandfather's castle, and it's the blacksmith of Riverrun who makes this crown for Robb. And it's described as an open circlet of hammered bronze, incised with the runes of the first men, surmounted by 9 black iron spikes wrought in the shape of long swords. Of gold and silver and gemstones it had none. Bronze and iron were the metals of winter, dark and strong to fight against the cold. I mean, you couldn't get a more appropriately designed crown for a Stark king. It fits perfectly. Having first men runes on it, I mean, it's them separating themselves from the rest of Westeros and the Faith of the Seven. It's severing the ties. It's making it really clear we want to do our own thing. It's not flashy. It's just a simple, tough, fierce crown, but not like it's not in your face. It's not like, oh, look at me with all of my diamonds and my gems. It's not something that is going to aggravate people because, and I say this all the time, it's a tough life in the North. So you can't really be seen to be going around head to toe in all of your gems and your furs and all of your finery, because in the North, a lot of people are starving. A lot of people are going without. So it has to be something that is functional but simple and not ostentatious. And the fact that it mirrors the design of the crown that was once worn by the Stark Kings, I mean, it's brilliant branding. They're making it crystal clear. This is not some itty-bitty rebellion. This isn't some like little uprising. We mean business. We've had enough. We do not want to be a part of your 7 kingdoms anymore. This was the North officially seceding from the rest of Westeros. Like, they were like, we are done with you. We don't want to know. Nothing good comes from anyone going south. We've had our fill. You can keep your poxy Iron Throne. This is the North trying to reclaim a bit of independence, a bit of autonomy, a bit of power. It's them taking a stand. And if this crown had been covered in like diamonds and rubies and sapphires, it just wouldn't have looked right. So that's the backstory about how this crown was made. It was kind of made not in a rush per se, but things were moving very quickly. The naming of Robb as King in the North, I mean, that came as a surprise to everyone. It was not a planned thing. It just kind of happened. Everyone kind of got a bit carried away. And Lady Catelyn feels a pit in her stomach. She's like, this is too much. It's moving too fast. Everyone's getting ahead of themselves. And my son is being thrust into the forefront of this. Literally, this crown puts a target on my child's head. That is how Catelyn sees all of this. She's reluctantly cheering, like, yay, King in the North, yay. Really, she's like, God, this is just, it's all getting out of hand, because declaring independence for the North was never really the plan. Now, we know Robb wore this crown, and when he married Jane Westerling, she got a, well, we don't really know what it looks like, just a simple, like, crown. I mean, I imagine in the times of warfare, it was just the most basic, simple, just a gold band probably for Jane. Robb at the Red Wedding, obviously we all know what happens there, and his crown is then taken and placed on top of Grey Wind's head, which is then attached onto Robb's body and paraded around. The highest form of mockery that they could think of. And then the crown winds up in the hands of Ryman Frey, and then at one point he's entertaining a lady of the evening, shall we say, and she's parading around with Robb Stark's crown on her head. And then Ryman Frey comes across Lady Stoneheart and the Brotherhood Without Banners. And Stoneheart takes possession of this crown. And most of you will know this, but there might be one or two people, because I still get people like, oh my God, she's who? Lady Stoneheart is the resurrected, half alive, half dead kind of zombie Lady Catelyn Stark. So she's come full circle with this crown. She saw it created in her home, Riverrun, where she was born and raised, where she had Robb. The early memories that Catelyn has with her firstborn child are at Riverrun, and that being the same place where this burden is placed on Robb's head, literally, like, And then for what happens to happen, the Red Wedding, what happens to Catelyn after that and being thrown in the river and then being brought back to life as Stoneheart and having your son's crown. Like, she's carrying it around, she's wearing it. That's where things stand in the books. Robb's crown exists, it's still out there, and maybe it will be put on the head of a Stark one day as King of Winter, or maybe Queen of Winter.